I like that, Jay. That was very, very clever.
That was a drifty YouTube.
That was very, very good, my
Very
friend.
good,
Very
mate.
good. Fuck
Oh,
you.
we're going to talk about this. You guys do it.
I was expecting Her Majesty to
Swifty
come
might
on
nick that.
underneath the empty box.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me just introduce. Good evening and welcome to Behind Closed Doors with myself, Alan Merritt, and I've got a lovely young man called Clive Spencer, a little Swift education from Clive-O. And if you want a Swift bit of review, Dave is Swift is with us as well. So good evening, gents, and welcome. And no nonsense, David. So anyone wants to say anything out of order, man on tonight to deal with it. And always nice to see you, Clive-O.
Always nice to see you too. How was life?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. What have you been up to? I've seen a couple of you've been doing some streams together, and as usual, it's quite comical. You two are a right pair, and always interesting to watch you two because you never know what's going to come around the fucking corner.
That's why people fucking don't like us.
I don't know about that. I tell you what, I know what I'm in when I see you guys. Let me just say, you know, I've invited people on to come on a picnic because, oh yeah, I want to come on the show, blah blah blah, and I keep saying to come on the show, and at the end of the day, sometimes they don't even get in touch with me, which hurts. Leave it out, David. And
Yeah.
I'm quite sorry. I've got remote control
last minute, I asked David and Clive to jump in and save me, and they came on with us, and it's always an interesting chat when we talk to these two guys. So without further ado, man of all the actions, Mr. Swift, what's all that about?
What about?
Well, the hand job.
I was pumping up my volume. I'm trying to join. I'll tell you what I'm trying to do. Yeah, I'm multitasking. I'm going a bit Clive mode because we don't use this system. We use StreamYard. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to see the comments. So what I would do normally is like when we stream on, like say we go to Facebook, yeah, I'd put my Facebook on and then I'd see the comments. You know what I mean? Not at the moment because I'm on a bit of a.
You can do as well because if you go and open up another window in the plus sign, go back into Wake Up UK, right? It will open up the window in Wake Up UK. But when the video comes up, you must pause that video to see the rest of the comments. But don't let that video play because if it plays, you'll get an echo.
So I can't just stick it. I just can't stick it on here then. So you're not sharing this on Facebook, for instance, Alan?
It should be on Facebook, yeah, and depending
on
on
your
whatever
page,
he puts it on
your own page.
Yeah, it goes out as well.
That's all right. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, but there's another thing as well.
It's much easier than all the bollocks you just chatted. You know what I mean?
I see you're going to be on fucking full.
Go on my Facebook page, mate. It's on a live there. Done. Jobs are done. Jobs are good. You know what I mean? Keep it simple, stupid. Kiss. Yeah.
I like the fucking hat.
I tell you what,
Dave.
Well, I've had a bit of a joke going.
You won't get a word edgeways, Jason. Don't worry about it.
No, Dave.
Who the fuck's Jason?
Jason is he runs Wake Up UK.
Go on, Wake Up UK on there. The chat's on there, mate.
I can only see 3 of us.
David, shut up. David, shut up.
Is Jason incognito?
I see you're in the chat room, Clive. Well done, mate.
I now know it is now. I recognise a voice.
Clive must be the brains of the operation, is that right?
I am the brains of the operation. You're right there.
Well said.
See what I'd say about perception. How people fuck it up.
So we got Clive the brains and we got the Pratt in the hat.
No. You got Clive the brains and the mouthpiece.
Listen, mate. What's his fucking name? The only way is Essex. Listen, you carry on with that, yeah, and see how far it fucking gets you. Good luck.
Come on, then, listen. David.
Perception's a very fucking dangerous thing, my man. I can tell you that.
David.
I've seen people fucking shot over it.
David.
They thought it was some old bloke in a wheelchair who was just fucking gobbing off.
David.
Perception's very dangerous.
David.
5 minutes, give your ass a chance.
Go on.
Fucking hell, you're like a submarine again, man. Fucking come up for some air, will you?
Yeah.
Listen, I told you folks a million fucking times. You see this part of my body here, known as the mouth, yeah? It's not fucking connected to anything. You understand me? It's on autopilot.
Anyway.
I have to put up with this 24/7. You've only got to listen to
Fucking
your
hell.
little show.
Fucking
Why do you
hell.
think my missus spends most of her time 60 miles away in another fucking part of the country?
You're fucking right there.
Yeah.
Fucking-
I don't blame her. I would do the same, but unfortunately, I can't physically leave my body, can I? Until I die.
Anyway,
No, I'm-
Alan, what's happening,
Yeah.
man?
Well, so yeah, well, basically, I'm in London. The next occasion will be the 5th of November for a bonfire night, and where I'm going to meet up with you guys, and also going to meet up with Dave and Mikey. They're going to be there as well because they do a show on a Friday night, a Thursday night, and they're absolutely brilliant, Dave and Mike. And I think Dave Wincher is known by most of you anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, that's what I've got planned. I'm going to the one after that. I don't know. I'm not too sure. But I might go to the Keys one on the 2nd of November in Birmingham, the Keys group, where they're responsible for a lot of these children's homes now. It's kind of like instead of the council running them now, it's like they've been sold off and privatised. And this Keys group or Keys organisation, like the Dangle or fucking Kangaroos have.
Yeah.
They are responsible for a lot of there's and you might know this as well, Clivo. The fucking Anglesey, there is some fucking bad fucking places on Anglesey.
Yeah.
Really, really bad records.
But it's out of the way, see? Anglesea's fucking out of the way and out of the mind, out of the sight.
But
You know?
apparently they own quite a lot, quite a wealthy company. And they're it's weird because I don't know how this works. 1 minute they're fucking solvent, the next minute, and then suddenly they fucking manage to survive. All their debt is wiped off. I don't know what goes on, and yet they're notoriously fucking bad, and yet they still operate. It's a bit like Secure Corps, Group 4. They're always fucking about. They're always there or thereabouts.
They've got their fingers in the pies. They've got people within authority who Help for Heroes, mate, went through the same just before COVID. And Help for Heroes, how much money, Dave, did they? It was 15 million they spent in 1 year for 353 veterans to help. Yeah. Then all of a sudden, they said, "We've got no money. We got to cut our services and this and that." Today, they're in a fucking good place today, let me tell you. You know? And it happens all the time, man.
Well, at one point, one of the senior fucking big cheeses was getting nicked for misappropriate of funds. I don't know. I never saw the end of that or how it turned out. I think he got lodged lively. You know what I mean? Because that's what they do when people misappropriate funds. Yeah, even in government positions. Yeah, people who, you know, high up who me. If I misappropriate my tax affairs, I get to see the inside of a prison. Yeah, and rightly so. You know what I mean? But anybody in a charity high up, Royal British Legion,
look,
you know, but it can't be rightly so if it does only happens to certain people.
Anybody caught out misappropriating funds get lodged and it's forgotten.
Yeah.
But look, COVID-19. Everybody doesn't talk about the PPE anymore. £1 billion just gone.
Yeah.
You know, and it was grey. We call it grey import. It's not CE marked.
Yeah.
Where is all our PPE? And
why haven't it is? It's in containers, Clive. You know,
exactly. But why haven't people been made accountable?
That we're currently paying rent for.
Exactly.
I actually noticed something. It's funny actually how you said that. It's because I actually noticed the other day, and it's weird, Clivo, that you've actually said that. And it was the other day that I was looking at something, and I came across. Let me see if I did screenshot it or took a picture of it. I hope I did anyway, because it actually says, I hope I've got it. I really, really do. Because I took a picture, and it actually said about the masks. And it actually says on the box, and it actually says does not stop you from getting COVID-19. And I thought, well, what the fuck are you wearing it for?
Well, look, the masks. If we talk about the masks, me and Dave talked about the masks before. And in 2000, here's a cracker for you. In 2009, the HSE, Health and Safety Executive, they set their laboratories up to do a test on the disposable surgical masks in hospitals. Can't see that well. But they set it up. And
It's a nice white and blue smudge with a finger on it.
yeah. Ah, there it is. Yeah, got it. Yeah. And it is. It's the warnings on the label box. But the other thing you've got to think of is they've done a study in the laboratories of the HSE, and they were looking at surgical masks in the hospital with influenza, the flu. And the actual HSE laboratories back in 2009 said they weren't good enough because there was too many particles on the inside of the mask as there was on the outside. So
It's all to do with a thing called microns, which most people don't actually really or understand. You know what I mean?
The nanomicrons were found in the mask, weren't they?
particle, the micron particle of that particular virus, even with all its little spikies sticking out, is much smaller than what the mask will stop. Unfortunately.
but you know,
I don't know if you saw the video that was going around that somebody got one of these swabs and took it to bits under the light, and the light reflected, made it move.
Yeah.
So it was heading towards the light as if it like a defense mechanism. It was really, really weird. And you know, when you watch something, you think, am I fucking seeing what I'm actually... Am I believing what I'm seeing? Or what
Alan,
I'd just like to say, if anybody's making any comments, I can't see them, so you'd have to tell me what people are saying now and then. You know what I mean? If there's a decent, if there's a reasonable comment or request comes up, you'll have to let me know. I've tried doing it through your Facebook, and I can't see nothing. I can see what they're doing, but I can't see any comments, so I can't. If anybody writes a comment, I can't respond to it because I can't see them. So,
I can't see it either.
well, there you go. So we're talking amongst ourselves, basically, then.
Yeah, I'm trying to...
No, I've got some people on. Sandy Smith has just commented. Hi, Roy. Jane, I think I'm in the right place. Jane went for a blood test today. I clicked on chats. No, I didn't. I clicked on live stream chat.
Oh, yeah, I got it. Yeah, live stream chat at the top of it. Yeah.
So if you go to live stream chat, Dave.
No, I haven't.
Okay, I'll read them out to you, Dave.
The only boxes at the... Where did you find the live stream chat?
If you go to...
Are you looking at the chat on a different device, Clive?
Yeah, I am.
Right, so I stick my device on, which is here, yeah?
Yeah.
So how did you get into the live stream chat? Did you click on that other link?
You just go to wakeupuk.net live, and then you look at the stream, and then there's an actual live stream chat next door to it.
Yeah, you click on that white with the red writing banner type thing up the top of the blue.
Up the top. All right. Sorry about this. Dave is a bit. He's a tech.
I've not used this before. Oh, live stream chat room.
You're the tech. He's the technical monkey. Anyway, going back. All right. Look, I work for. What was the name of them, Dave? I worked for a company. All right, Sodexo, as a mobile unit testing manager, and we used to go out with mobile units. And we had
further, another company that's got fingers in many pies.
Yes, definitely. Circle's the same, Mighty's the same. So I've worked for Sodexo. I actually got dismissed.
Yeah.
I got dismissed because I was telling people to do their job properly.
Yeah.
And they said I was too loud.
Yeah. I had grey vans, didn't I?
I tell you what, mate, I had 400 tests on the van. And I went to Chelsea Borough, and I was only allowed to use 80 or 60 or 80 of the tests booked in for the day. And I had a nurse turn up, and she was a sister of an ICU ward, and she'd been told to test her son, who's handicapped. And I said to her, I'm sorry, I can't test him. And she said, well, I'm an ICU nurse. And I kept making phone calls, and they said, no, you can't test her, Clive, you can't test her. And I turned around, I knew the back door in the system. There's back doors in the system. So I just turned around at the end. I went, look, an ICU nurse can't get a test. Doctor sent her to this test centre. And I got emotional because I could see how emotional this girl was getting.
Yeah.
So I said, I'll test your son. I said, go and sit over there. I'll test your son. And everybody's looking at me. And I went, I don't care. But here we go, Alan. This is a cracker. I left. Right, when you go in, you've got tests in the cooler boxes.
Yeah.
And I had the tests in the cooler box. And I said to the supervisor, empty the cooler box, take the tests in, I will decontaminate the van. So I decontaminated the van, and I didn't check the fridges because I thought the fridges were already decontaminated. And I had a phone call 48 hours later. Clive, you're missing 200 tests from your last. Well, I was on 4 days on, 4 days off. You're missing 200 tests. And I went, right. He said, we've just found them in the van. I went, you are? They said, don't worry, we'll just process them anyway. Mate, them tests shouldn't have been processed. There was things going on that I kept highlighting. As a health and safety professional, I was concerned. And I contacted the health and safety professionals. And I tell you what, mate, they didn't give a shit because they were making so much money. You know, we had 4 vans. I was on Heathrow. Heathrow was the biggest actual testing centre. We had 10 lanes. We had 4 vans. Some days the vans wouldn't, 2 vans would stay in, 2 vans would go out.
Wow.
But the lanes, most they've done, about 80, 100 tests. And that was at the peak. Work that one out. You know, it's... And
hang on a second. I just want to say hello to the guys. Roy Pearce, fantastic guys in there. Sandy Smith, great. I hope Jane's all right. Sandy, I just see that Jane went for a blood test today. To find out what happens. Roy Pearce, a good old boy. Roy, I love Roy. He's a great guy. Coleman Archer, he's in there as well. Coleman, welcome to the show. Everybody saying good evening and giving you a good reception in the chat room, guys. So that's us up to date with the chat room. Anybody wants to ask the guys a question, feel free to put anything in there. And the guys will only be too pleased to answer anything, basically, because their knowledge is quite, as Clive was just surprised me with what he's saying about working with Sodexo, because I know the company. And, well, you even see what I've got on my top. They've even got fingers in landscape companies and also Sodexo.
They're everywhere.
IT as well. All get there. They're all into, I don't know what it is, the contracts that these people win just seem to be so strange how they money seems to spread money. I don't know what it is. Brown envelopes are everywhere.
Well, what you got to remember, the board of directors, all right, these companies, if you look at Serco and the size of Serco, Serco are in the justice system, they're everywhere, child maintenance services. And what we done is a monopoly. So they've got companies inside companies, and they'll have certain people who are directors. And if you go to company's house, it's like, remember ticketing when you go into concerts? All right. Look, I looked at that back in 2016. And my idea was to bring a concert together, get somebody like James Blunt to do a concert, introduce ticketing with a photograph on it, so it couldn't be sold. The systems were already in place, and I went to a place called Fanfare Alliance. It was set up to stop tickets out. And I sat in there on the second meeting, the guy shook my hand, and he said, we don't bite the hand that feeds us. And they were just playing games, mate, tick boxing, because there's so much money to be made. Yeah, and if you look at Live Nation, they run all the concerts they got, and they had over 200 companies, all, and they spider-web it out in companies' houses when you just got to follow names of directors and names of the companies, and they're all entwined. And David better than anybody knows about the taxes and how to shift taxes if you need to. And they've got people on their boards who sit in government. They do what they do in the United States. They got senators in the United States, and they lobby for companies. Exactly the same, but it's all shrouded and secrecy in the UK.
Yeah, well said.
You know.
Yeah, very well said. David, you're right, mate.
I'm all right, mate. I'm trying to log into this thing, and all it tells me is you need to log in, and I'm logged in, and it's well up, it's well happy. Here we go.
This is where are the pistachio nuts? Then Clive and Dave.
No, 'cause normally a comment is stuck to the live stream. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It just streams up underneath the live stream. This
Yeah.
one you've got to scroll up.
David.
What you have to do in that one is you have to pause the screen, otherwise it echoes back. And we
David.
feedback
No,
from
I've
you.
turned it all down. I've done that earlier.
David, don't worry about it.
Well done, man. Well done. Well, you know,
So the passion nuts. Well,
yeah. What's that all about?
David likes his passion. No. I have passion nuts, and Dave, what do you think of passion nuts? But
You're not even saying it right. Potassio nuts, you mean?
yeah, that's them. You know what I want? I'm Welsh.
Of course I do. The fucking stupid green things they put on bars, and
See-
people fucking sit there picking them apart, the shells. The shells end up all over the gap. The poor people that are on fucking minimum wage barely get to clean it all up. Under the carpets, under your bar. My family's in the pub game, you know what I mean? They're a fucking nightmare. My lot won't have them in there, you know what I mean?
I must admit, they do.
We're
They
more
do.
the old school. Do you remember? Like, you probably don't see it much around your ends, Alan, but you might do. I don't know. Do you remember
but
when
they're
you go in a boozer on a Sunday and you'd have roast potatoes and that sort of stuff on there
Yeah.
on the
Yeah,
bar?
years ago, you used to walk
Some
in
little
boozers, years
sausages or
ago,
whatever.
and
A bit of cheese and with an
used to get
onion.
all that stuff on the bars.
You
Yeah.
still get that now. Well, my end, you still get it. We're more old school, you know what I mean? We've got proper boozers
Yeah.
run by proper people, you know what I mean?
And they used to do. I don't know what I do. I used to go in the boozer, have a few pints, and I used to eat so many roast potatoes off the bar because they kept bringing out the roast potatoes in dishes. Fucking dinner.
A boozer just down the road from me, because I'm just off Farringdon Road, Lloyd Baker Street, if anybody needs to come round. Just down at the bottom of Lloyd Baker Street, do a right as if you go to King's Cross, and just on the left, there's a really nice boozer just past the Travelodge and that.
Yeah.
And the landlady in there on a Sunday, does free fucking Sunday dinners. Free.
Free.
Bloody hell.
Fucking hell.
On my kid's life, she does them free, mate. She must do about 60, 70 dinners every Sunday. But she does that. The landlady, her and her old man's boozer, really nice people they are, obviously. And they do it because there's a lot of homeless people around that area. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there is.
And so the homeless people can come in, have a sit down, maybe watch a bit of Sky TV. You know, a football game might be on a Sunday normally. Like someone like United getting stuffed by Liverpool 5-0. Not that I'm a Man United or Liverpool particular supporter, but it is the crack. So, yeah, they'll come in and sit down, and the four fellas or ladies will have a nice Sunday dinner.
Yeah.
And it costs them nothing. They can sit in the warm for an hour or two, you know what I mean?
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
brilliant.
And the pudding.
Good to her.
That's
And the pudding.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm not going to name the boozer, but you could find it quite easy just by going down King's Cross. It's part of Farringdon Road. It leads into King's Cross Road.
Yeah, but further up, years ago, used to be known as a very, very red light district. I don't know what it's like now.
No, mate. Listen, King's Cross there's nothing like. You can still buy plenty of heroin and fucking crack cocaine around there because those people loiter there because they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But King's Cross, mate. Have you not been to King's Cross recently? You
I've
don't
been
come
to
in
the
that way,
station,
do
but
you?
I don't go around walking around the area. I mean, there's a
Go
lot of
round
building
King's
going
Cross,
around
mate.
there.
Well, all the way up York Road, which is
Yeah.
as you come out of King's Cross Station, as you will know, you come
Yeah,
out of King's Cross Station. So your left is to where I go, yeah, and your right is into the city.
You're down Caledonia Road, Hollywood
At the
Road.
front, yeah, that's it. Caledonia Road, which is the longest road in London,
Yeah.
and that's where my missus was born, just off the Cali, Beminton. She's from the flats, as she would like to say, Beminton. We're in a posh end now. We're down Hatton Garden, Bloomsbury. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, it's still a council flat, but it's very posh. It's worth 1.4 million. Not bad for a council flat, is it? So anyway,
That's where I went wrong.
yeah. Well, the right to buy.
to buy a flat in Streatham
You get to
Hill.
buy it for 360,000 for a gaff that's worth 1.2, 1.3 million.
Worst
good
thing I
deal,
didn't do is
Good
not buy
deal,
a flat
mate.
in
That's a
Streatham
good
Hill and
Sorry?
then move up here.
Say that again over on
I've
the
been made for the rest of my life.
Yeah. So anyway, when King's Cross, they've spent tens and tens, hundreds of millions on King's Cross to tidy it up. It's been what a lot of the old, some of the people call it gentrified, don't they? You know what I mean? And round the back of King's Cross, they have massive screens up during the summer for the tennis or whatever's on. There's fountains that come out of the ground, and all the kids go there and play all summer
I
long.
think I've seen some virtual thing of that.
Yeah, it's what they've done around King's Cross, mate, is unbelievable. You know,
Because then there used to be, I'm not too sure if there used to be a power station down there. Is it a power or gas?
No, it's all gone, mate. Shoreditch, you know, there's a saying they've spent fortunes in Shoreditch. Mate, I can remember when you could
years ago. I don't know if it's like it now, Dave. I don't know if it's like now. Shoreditch, you couldn't go out on the streets after 6 o'clock in the evening.
No, mate. Shoreditch is bang opposite.
Shoreditch is great.
Listen,
if you're I'm sure the light railway, is it the Docklands Railway goes to Shoreditch?
DLR, yeah, the DLR, yeah.
Yeah, that goes there, and my sister used to live in the flats, the council flats of Shoreditch.
Yeah.
And was it what they fucking call them? Oh fuck! Now I'm trying
That's where all the kids. That's where my Holly and that lot go. That's where all the clubbing is and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's right. What's known the
or
Excel
Camden. You know what I mean? But I can remember back in the day when you're thinking about, you could buy a gaff in Shoreditch for about 160, 170,000.
Yeah.
You're talking up 750,000 for a 2-bedroom. You know what I mean?
You know, unbelievable.
650,000 for a 1-bedroom. My 3 youngest ones can't move out.
And that's the biggest problem you've got.
They can't move out the house. You know what I mean?
Remember.
Why, David? Because of the price.
Yeah, because the price
Because
is.
it costs them to rent anywhere near us, yeah, where all their family is in Islington.
Yeah.
I mean, some of our families are a little bit further out, Hackney, you know what I mean? But even Hackney's a fortune now. That's all what they call gentrified. The whole of London is where Clive is. Clive's in West London, Richmond. You know what I mean? He's in the stockbroker belt, really.
Oh yeah, fucking hell, that must be worth a few bob and all.
Yeah,
It's council. It's a council.
So,
It's housing association.
What happens? Yeah, but how much to rent your gaff for privately?
Oh, mate, I wouldn't like to say actually. I really wouldn't like to say.
£1,700, £1,800 a month.
Easy, easy, or more.
To rent my gaff where we are, yeah, in Lloyd Baker Street, right, is nigh on £4,000 a month.
Are your girls in the flat? Or
Yeah, both the girls are there.
Yeah, the girls.
The two
I've seen you
all the
going out to,
youngest.
the girls go out to have meals with you sometimes. You go into cafes and places like that.
Yeah, we go up
Your
Chapel, up
cooking's wicked. I've seen
Sorry?
watching you do some cooking. Your cooking's wicked.
Well, you might get that I'm working class. You know what I mean? You know what I said earlier on about perception. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm working class, just like the fella upstairs is, and the fella over there is. There, we're working class people. You know what I mean? We come from working class backgrounds, yeah, and we're brought up on council estates. I was brought up on the roughest council estate in Bridlington. Funny enough, I've only got one, and it is still shite to this day. Yeah, and I'm not having a go at anybody who's on those estates, because you live where you live. You know what I mean? But I was lucky.
A few stories about council estates, mate. Used to throw you off the balcony and down the fucking chutes. They used to have bins, the rich
gents,
dirty, great big fucking bins, and I mean the bins are fucking big as an house.
Yeah.
But gents, remember one thing, all right? We were brought up on council estates, all right? And back in our time, don't forget, I'm probably the youngest here, and back in our time, all right, the people looked after the people.
Of course they did.
People looked after the people.
Of course they did. I'm talking about the 60s, when you could literally leave your doors open, and your neighbours we all lived in each other's gaps.
Look, in the balconies, you used to fucking leave your doors open, and then you mats over the fucking railings.
When I was 7, right, we lived in this rough council house estate. When I was 7, I come home one day and I went in my no one was in my gaff. No one was in. I knew they weren't, because my mum used to have to work, because she divorced my dad when I was 3. Yeah. So, and I'm talking, I was born in 61, so you're now talking 64, aren't you? So you got my mum with 4 kids, yeah, as a single mum. Trust me, they never had the fucking stuff single mums got today. Yeah,
I tell you,
you never got your fucking rent paid by the council. That's for fucking sure. Yeah, we lived on fucking food vouchers and milk fucking and free school meals. You know what I mean? And that's so. What I was going to get at is, because you asked a question about you're a blinded cook. Yeah, my mum worked 3 jobs, at those times, yeah. And if I did do myself a bit of baked beans on toast, yeah, or especially if we was on school holidays, I wouldn't have had a hot meal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you're putting a cooler, mate, you said about the eldest ones, yeah. Holly and Michael and that never used to cook. Never used to. Fucking Holly couldn't boil water.
I've seen you doing when they go out, they do the cleaning and that, and you do the
Yeah,
cooking.
but they can all cook now. They
Yeah.
can all cook now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Well, they
it's
pretty
not a
much
fucking,
doing it,
it's
so
not
they
you're not
probably-
building a nuclear
Just-
rocket, are you?
There's somebody just put something in there. Oh, is it Roy?
But what I was going to say is, back in the day, it was nice and things were
Yeah.
easy and everyone did live together. And we
Yeah,
had
it's
things
true.
called, because of your show, I'm going to bring it up now. We used to have thing called, we used to call them dirty old men. I don't know if
Yeah.
you've ever heard that term.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Flashes.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Dirty old man, when I was 7, flashed himself in the toilets just down the road from where my old man, my mum was divorced. My dad lived round the corner. I ran around my dad's, I was 7, to get a knife. And I went back, he'd gone. I would have cut it off at 7 years old, trust me. And my 2 sisters were flashed on the wreck, because we was in a council house, we had a wreck dead opposite.
Yeah.
They got flashed and a few other kids by another bloke coming in tears. And I chased out the house with a bread knife. I'd have been 8, 9 then.
Fucking hell.
You know,
We used to
It
call that.
wasn't as
You're not allowed to say
often
that because it's homophobic.
makes sense.
gents,
Didn't have to,
gents, I'm going to fucking butt in you because I've had enough now.
go on, he's going quiet.
Fucking listen to each other with you because you're over talking fucking each other.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm just talking. If someone wants to
No,
join
but
in
what I'm
and talk-
saying to you is the both of you are over talking each other. If I'm getting frustrated, what's the fucking audience doing?
Nicely said, Clive.
I'm going to say it as it is because that's where we are.
You've got to say it as it is.
All right. So sorry about this, audience. For fuck's sake, we're getting excited, man.
All right, Clive.
So that's what I was getting onto the topic of, is that you only had dirty old men back in the 60s. You know what I mean? And if one turned up and you was on a council estate, everyone would turn out. I'll go and find the fucker.
Yeah.
And both those 2 fellas did get nicked.
Yeah.
Because the police turned out double live. Because we used to have officers on the beat then, didn't we, on foot, predominantly, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Whereas today,
Clive, was it in? Do you remember? I mean, I know political correctness or whatever it's called nowadays with the fucking shit that's going on there, LGBT and everything else. Years ago, they used to call it queer bashing.
Queer bashing.
Classed as a homophobic. Now.
Yeah. Well, I won't say the whole word because I know some people will fucking get word hurt, whatever.
Look.
But you talk about what you just said, which you would now call homophobic bashing, wouldn't it? Would be the correct PC terminology. Yeah, because this is how we're supposed to speak now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Because everyone's teaching fucking adults what words to come out of your mouth. So back in the day, pre that, yeah, we had a thing called the P bashing. Do you remember that?
I don't know if I know that one.
Oh, well, I'll say the word then, packy bashing.
Oh yeah.
Or as you would have to say today in the correct PC terminology,
yeah, you say Muslim now.
Pakistani bashing.
Yeah, but
If you say Pakistani bashing, you wouldn't get into trouble. But if you shorten their country's name, which is all you're doing, yeah, no different than if you called a Welshman a taffy. You know what I mean? You
But
mean
it's the same,
well,
Clive, isn't it? It's Clive. If you turn around and say the word Muslim now, it's deemed as insulting a race.
no, you're all right saying Muslim, but you can't say Muzzy.
No. If you say like if Muslims, if there's a protest in London like we have all seen, right? We've seen it at the Gurk's Pen. You've had different people up and down the fucking wire, all doing different fucking things. But if you was to say, how come some Muslims can get away with it?
Oh,
The fucking old bill will be on you like a ton of bricks.
Look, it's not just
Listen,
Muslims.
Right,
No, no, it's not just Muslims, but
listen, you
I'm
can't.
using
Whoa. Listen, you can't blame individual races or religions or anything like that. Yeah, It's a whole fucking mixture on both sides.
Yeah.
Of groups of people from varying backgrounds, from the working class to the fucking elite. On both sides of the fucking argument. That want everything done and said their particular way.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I think, look, what you've got to understand is the divide. It's the divide, all right, and it'll continue. It'll continue.
That's why it's all been brought about, Clive. We know that.
Yeah, I know. Wait, but Muslims. Let's talk about Muslims. Let's talk about the Islamic faith, shall we? Should we talk about extremist Islam? Let me tell you, extremist Islam, all right, Wahhabism, created in the 17th century. All right, Sunni. And if you look into Wahhabism and you look at the Saudi royal family, all right, and what's going on today, extreme Islam come about in 1979, 1980 when Russia went into Afghanistan.
Yeah, Russia invaded.
The Western world, King Abdullah had a problem. King Abdullah, all right, in 17th century protected the man Wahhabism, all right, and what happened? They went into Afghanistan to fight Russia. The Western world, King Abdullah had a problem in Mecca. And the extremists took over Mecca, the mosque. Wait there, Dave. All right? And they sent them to Northern Alliance in Pakistan.
Yeah.
All right? But now, look at Islam, look at Muslims.
Yeah.
Let me tell you now, when I lived in the Middle East, I looked at converting to Islam. All right? And I'll tell you, Islam was promoted. People look at Muslims, Islam, and because of what happened with 9/11, they tried to make them out to all be extremists, all terrorists, and it's a load of bollocks. Let me tell you. Because I got some very good. Go on, Dave.
Go on, baby.
What I will say is this, because I know we're trying to stop talking over each other. So, and what quite rightly so, because it isn't fair on the people that are trying to listen. And Clive can't keep up with two conversations. He's fucking struggling with one, bless him.
I'm struggling with one.
Yeah. So anyway, listen, because he fucks about doing something else and fucking wonders why he can't listen. Like you'll see, he can't help you. He's tippy tappy. So anyway, when Russia invaded Iraq,
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan, their first invasion, where they got their asses kicked.
Yeah,
right?
they fucking did, didn't they?
Yeah, of course they did. And they have done everywhere they've fucking gone. So anyway, since time immemorial. Let's get it right, Clive. That isn't when it started. That's when it became public knowledge.
Public knowledge, yes. Public knowledge. Yeah.
It's been going on, for nearly since time began, 1800 years.
Yeah.
But it only became public knowledge, and no one was really fucking interested, to be honest with you, because it was the Russians having a go at some other fucking country.
Yeah, but it was the Western world.
Yeah.
Don't forget, do you know why the Western world have got a fucking thing against Russia? Do you really know the real reason? And in my opinion, after World War II, 1944, the Bretton Woods Agreement was signed. 44 nations signed to say the US dollar would be the world currency and it would be backed by gold. And the people who would actually manage it was the US president, by the way. But it was the bankers of Wall Street. And during this meeting, the Russians went, we're not signing it. There's no way we're signing to something which is run by bankers. And Roosevelt at the time felt really against bankers because of what they'd done in the 1930s to America. By 1958, the US dollar failed because they didn't have enough gold compared to the money they were printing. So in 1944, Roosevelt met King Abdullah Aziz in Suez Canal. And he said to him, you do not comment about my country. You do not comment about my religion. I'll give you all the oil you want in the world. And then 1971, Nixon unpegged the gold. That's where he went.
Right, listen,
So-
because I've got into this a
Go
bit
on.
late with the chat and all that. There's various people I can see saying stuff.
Yeah.
Matt wants to get in and talk about the LBGT fucking
Yeah.
XYZ community, because Matt is it's his forte. You understand?
That's Matt's forte.
As Clive's is the Middle East, because he's lived there and he knows what goes on there. You know what I mean? So that's something maybe you want to do in the future.
Yeah, bring Matt in, Al,
And
because I
no,
tell
he
you
can't,
what.
because you're finishing in 10 minutes, 5 minutes.
Is it? Right,
Yeah, so
okay.
No,
It's
no. I can bring him in if he comes on. I can bring him in because I'm the host.
He's in
Yeah.
As a
chat room.
host, I can do that. That it's my show, so I can do
Yeah.
that. Anyway,
All right. So if you want to come in and join, Matt,
they will come via
I'll
me.
put you on 10 for the 5
Jason, let's just first in to start off with.
Because I tell you what, Al, you raised the question, why can the Muslims do that? Why can they do that? All right? At the end of the day, mate, it's not just Muslims.
No.
It's everything.
Put in a
It's-
phrase.
it's-
Right, so
yeah.
hang on a minute. Let me just say.
Yeah,
I was just coining a phrase and using an example. Look,
yeah,
you can say the same about the Rochdale grooming gangs. Listen,
Yeah.
paedophilia, fucking child sex
Oh,
exploitation, and child abuse is fucking not just an Asian fucking problem. It's a fucking
Of
problem
course not.
it's
everywhere.
it's huge. It's huge. Have you seen?
Any normal government, any normal person would call it a pandemic.
Yeah,
Mate, it's been, look,
it's
we've
been
all,
like that fucking since the day one.
look, we've all come off council estates, all right? I was lucky. I weren't chosen. But my best friend at the time was chosen and he was targeted. But we were doing changing parades in front of somebody who was in authority.
Yeah,
And then 3 years later, it come out that he had been molested. He'd been, all right. And I couldn't believe it at the beginning when it come out. And then I said, yeah, we were doing changing parades in his house. And we were stripping off in front of him and putting army uniform, cadet's uniform on. But it was rife. On the council estate I was on, and the more I'd grown up, the more it's come out. And it was my best friend's father's. And I was like, you fucking what?
Yeah.
You know, it was rife, man. It's terrible.
I'll tell you something. I don't suppose if you saw it. Yeah, there was a documentary on Channel 4 last night. Did you see it?
Yes, I did. The Priory.
Yeah, the Priory,
No,
the Priory initially started off, as you probably know them, as rehab centres. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's one right by you, Clive. Just
Yeah,
south of
it is.
Lisa's been in there.
Is this
Lisa's
the one at
been in there.
Roehampton?
Anyway, listen, the programme that was on last night, yeah, bearing in mind, I like to keep up to date what's going on today, because listen, what went on fucking yesterday doesn't matter. Yeah?
Yeah.
So you can't do fuck all about it. So, but this is going on now as we're speaking. Yeah,
Yeah.
they put one of the buildings on the Priory that was bought and sold 3 or 4 times in 15 years by various asset fucking pension company.
Asset management companies.
Yeah. Well, I don't like to even say it because they certainly don't fucking asset and they certainly don't fucking manage. It's just a fucking nice word that they give themselves. It was last changed hands for over £1 billion. This one place. Yeah. Well, last night they showed a geezer in there. Bear in mind, he's a fucking sex pest. Putting it mildly. It's a secure hospital. Yeah. But they've got various types of people there. They're not all paedophilia. Some of them have got criminal mental health problems. Some of them have just got bad tempers or whatever you want to call it.
Used to be private.
This particular fella he contacts kids all the time. Yeah. So he is somebody who's fucking dangerous.
Yeah.
But do you know what he did? Because with their funds, I'm going to tell you this now.
Yeah.
With their funds, you can buy stuff. You know, like you can even if you're in fucking Broadmoor, like fucking Ronnie Cray used to.
Canteen.
Yeah. But it's better than a canteen they get.
Yeah.
Canteen in prison, you get to spend 15 quid a week. Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets to spend money at prices of TVs for him.
Yeah.
So anyway, he tells a member of staff he wants a new TV. Yeah. Now this guy's not allowed any internet access.
Yeah.
And rightly so, for the obvious reason.
Yeah.
So anyway, he says to this member of staff, I want a TV. There's one in Tesco's that's just down the road. And I want you to get the money out of my spends and go and buy me one. So they do. They go and get this TV, buy it, give it to him. Gets checked in. The member of staff buys it. She gives it to security. Security checks it, and they go, "Yeah, there you go. There's your TV." It took them 5 days to work out that he's on the internet with it because it was a smart TV.
Smart TV.
So he jumped onto their wireless network, their broadband service, with his smart TV, and was messaging fucking kids, etc. That's the sort of retard, and I can only put it that way, running those establishments.
I know all them places because
Of course you do.
guys probably know it. You probably know it. I used to cab for a company called Atlas, and Atlas was based on the little roundabout on the Fulham High Street, Fulham Road, Fulham Palace Road. It was called Atlas Cars, but we used to have a limit of only 4-year-old cars. You couldn't have anything older than that. Some guys had Mercs and things like that, and all sorts of things. And they used to drive I remember at one stage I was driving a woman called Mrs. Crombie. Mrs. Crombie, her husband was the guy that actually invented the Crombie coat.
Yeah.
And I've driven in the past the likes of Koo Stark, and I knew about because Koo Stark was a photographer. And so there's not many people. There's lots of things that I know that you guys probably wouldn't know about. We all got our own little bits and pieces, what we know.
Definitely.
You know, if I got banged up in a prison.
Listen, I remember a place in Roehampton. There was a girls' home, a girls' children's home in Roehampton, and that was fucking notorious for fucking abuse. That was.
There's a
And
priory just
used to be
by it.
the girls used to be taken to fucking the Elms Guest House, and the Elms Guest House was in Barnes, Southwest 13, right? And I remember kids going from different children's homes to fucking Dolphin Square and the Elms Guest House. I've even cabbed and I've been in, and security, when they know there's a cab for a certain person, you just fucking waved on. And at one stage, Dolphin Square even had its own land, a dock or whatever you call it, on the fucking pier on the Thames, where boats used to come up from fucking Barnes. And instead of them coming by fucking roads, in case more auspicious, they come up by the fucking Thames.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild, mate.
But that's the problem you've got, you see, is you've got fucking horrible, nasty, you'd like to say morons running the show, but they're not. They're fucking intelligent people. They just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
They think they're above the law.
If I got banged up tomorrow, Alan, if I got banged up tomorrow, say in Lewis, for instance, HMP Lewis, which is my local remand centre to where I am here, or if I was in London and I got banged up, I'd be taken to the Veal on the cabin, Pentonville. How long do you reckon it'd take me to get hold of a smartphone and get internet access and phone and call?
You're different in my day. We had fuck all when I went inside. When
The next day,
they still had the
in the
fucking
morning.
gallows. They still had cold fucking showers, and you didn't have no radios or fuck all.
But you, gents,
within a couple of hours of landing, you can have access.
But gents, use one thing. Ask yourself, why haven't we got actual in the things which knock out the signals on the prisons?
But you have.
You know,
I'll knock out the signals. No. They can't do that, Clive, because if they did a thing and they can do that technology's there, but you've got the governors have got mobile phone, you've got the offices, the admin offices, they've got internet access. Blah, blah,
but hang on. Let's talk about that, because the fucking what's wrong with a fucking landline? A secure landline. Because if you're going to go into an environment where there's a secure environment, then you've got to secure the fucking technology down as well.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have to go back. And that's what should happen. Because it's a secure environment.
Do you know what would happen
there? Thing years ago as the fucking red phone, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The red phone would probably be a phone. If that phone rang, you fucking answered it.
Yeah.
Listen, if that happened, Clive, if they did do that, and they stopped it, and you couldn't get a mobile phone in prison, which it won't. That'll never happen. Right?
No, it's never happen. Never happen.
You for a smartphone, for a Samsung or an iPhone, £1,500. That's what it costs you.
And have you seen what they've tried to do, though, Clive?
The school will do your top up for you, and when you need them.
Dave, have you seen what they've tried to do in some of the prisons, though? Because of this drones and fucking slingshots and fucking
Yeah.
Christ knows what. They put
Yeah.
all this meshes.
Yeah, all over the walkyard, all over the courtyard. But listen, they don't need that, mate. I know people who have got screws in their pockets, yeah, and they're earning fucking 2-3 grand a week on stuff they bring in.
But this is where
Listen, a 50 grand pouch of tobacco. You're not allowed to smoke in prisons now, are you? Now, a 50 grand pouch of tobacco, yeah, that costs you. Well, if you buy it the right way, it's fucking 16 quid. If you buy it the wrong way, it's 27 quid in Tesco.
But look,
yeah. He's £750 on the land.
But look,
Yeah.
this is where it goes back to money, biggest life stress in everybody's life. All right.
I've told you that a million times. It all revolves around the fucking pound note.
All right. And the biggest thing is at this moment in time, and I don't know, you might not have seen it yet, Dave, because it only come out. Actually, it's only come out today at 5 o'clock. And this is a new study which has been undertaken. A new study's been undertaken by Swansea University. And this is what they've said. The new study reveals UK military veterans with gambling problems have higher social and economy costs, around £600 per person. They go on further. And what they do say when they go on further is today the military have got more going on with actual crime and stuff like that. And it's I'm going to read through this report because I've only just got it sent through. All right. But it is absolutely massive what they say.
Let me just come in for a second, Clive. Before you go in there, I have to interject with the chat room because we've got to let the guys in the chat room know that we're acknowledging them as well. There's various people in there. Alan, accept requests, we'll get social. I'm just going through to see there's Matt's in there as well. So Jeffrey's in there. Hi, Sir Jeffrey. Hope you're well, Sir Jeff. Just saying hello to the people in the chat room. Actually, it's quite important because guys are sitting there watching us. Yeah. So it's only right that we interject and say.
That's the whole idea while you're doing it, isn't it? You know what I mean? I saw Roy Pierce.
Let Clive say what he was going to say, Dave.
So, look, they're going to put the interest rates up. The Bank of England have already said that's not going to curb inflation. Me and Dave have been saying it for so long now that what's coming around the corner is a fucking tsunami. It's a financial. We're in depression. You think people are suffering now? It's fucking going to get worse. It's going to get much worse. I mean, Dave have been going on about it.
Why though?
What?
Why is it going to get much worse? Why is everything going to go up? Because they've got to get that fucking money back.
Yes, they have. And the working class is where they get it from.
They sold the nation alive. When they did furlough, they sold all those fucking wankers who claimed it. I could have claimed £150,000 exactly, yeah, for business support. I could have done that quite easily. I had pals who were claiming it fucking on the snide. You know, there was 750,000 claims done that they lost.
Yeah.
Of fictitious claims. I don't know if you remember that. It was in the press. It's on the news.
Well,
that's gone.
Yeah.
The money's gone. You've lost the money. You've lost the money, but you can win the car. But anyway, so that money's gone. Yeah. All the furlough money that the government said, don't worry, it's all free. You won't have to pay it back. Fucking wise up. When have you ever known a government to give away free money? Ever?
Nothing.
It ain't their fucking money to give away for a start. So that money's got to come back.
Come back.
And there's no way on God's earth, yeah, that the gas industry, right, has doubled their fucking costs overnight to produce gas. All the oil industry, they haven't doubled their costs. What they have done is they've lost 18 months worth of profits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which in turn means every litre that wasn't sold while everyone had their cars parked outside their houses.
Yeah,
gets a lot of getting tickets on them, mind you, because they can't park during the day. They'd normally be at work, but they had to because they couldn't go. Yeah, and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands got tickets. Yeah, there was live streams on it. So all that money has to come back, and the same person who paid it back at every single depression and every time it's gone wrong, is your working class.
Working class. And the other thing is as well, here's one for you, Alan, Universal Credit. They had that extra £20. Look, they've taken the £20 off them, but what's happened? The fucking prices are shot through the roof. Yeah. People today are worse off than they were before fucking COVID.
Yeah.
You haven't seen nothing yet, trust me.
No, we haven't.
We know, we know this. Listen, I've said this for a long time. The fucking tsunami hasn't even come. The tide has not gone out yet for it to fucking come back. When it fucking comes back, it's going to do a fucking lot of damage, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like you're saying, it's like every single thing, like whatever, everything's fucking linked. And like you say, it's all linked to fucking money. Yeah. Whatever happens, how many fucking millionaires have been made in the COVID crisis? How
in the United Kingdom,
listen, and they've got their fingers in Pfizer and fucking the NHS, you fucking name it, they're in it. And as you're saying things and bits and pieces about what's going on here and what's going on there, right? It all comes back, but there are fucking private companies that have made a lot of fucking money, right? Because their fucking mates are in charge.
Yeah.
Over 2,000 people have become over 2,000. The figures online if you're that fucking old. But it's over 2,000 millionaires have been made in the last 18 months in the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
Look,
you want to do that bit, Clive? Because that sounded quite interesting.
Say again.
Did you say you wanted to read something off, or?
No. It's just there's a new report. There's a new report out now that is saying, that veterans today they done a study, all right, and they done a study of total of 5,147 responses received, with 2,185 people and 1,037 were actual military, and they've actually said researchers found that 43.1% of veterans scores problems with gambling, while among the non-veterans the figure was only 6.5. Look at veterans. Veterans, I'll tell. I'm not. Veterans. Fucking hell, I didn't see that. Fucking hell, that's veterans. So armed service personnel, we've got a problem with mental health. We've got a problem because they can't fucking live, mate. There's guys in the army. When me and Dave were in the army, we didn't have to care about feeding ourselves because we didn't have to pay for it. Today, the soldiers have got to pay for their food.
Hang on a minute. I paid for mine.
Yeah,
you paid for it, but Dave, he was taking out your wages every month. You didn't have to.
It wasn't fucking free.
I'm going to say now, you two guys, this is quite. Now this is right on your fucking in your backyard. I'm going to back the ball in. I'm going to throw googly now, fucking bowl of googly. Now, let's talk about a guy called Dennis Hutchins for a second. I know.
Hang on a minute. Whoa. How long does this show go on for, Alan?
8:45.
Okay.
Another 45 minutes.
I thought it's finished in a minute.
No.
Go on then. Say what you want.
Dennis Hutchins, right? I mean, let's talk about him. Now, if you look at the mainstream media, right, what was mentioned about the MP, all right, look, I condemn all this fucking violence and shit like that, and he should never have probably been murdered in the way he was murdered. It's all wrong, I know. But how much highlight did he get when a fucking veteran like Dennis Hutchinson was being persecuted, right, in the way that he was doing through fucking probably Tony Blair's fucking government? Talk about that.
Who do you want to answer it first, Clive or me?
Go on, Dave.
Everyone wants to.
Go on, Dave.
Right, the MP are frozen for some unknown reason. But can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've frozen as well, Adam. But it's all right. It's just a glitch in the system. So, we're back again. So, David Ames, you're talking about, the MP, was murdered. Bless him.
Yeah.
No one deserves that from anybody. You know what I mean?
Absolutely right.
But the thing is, if you keep fucking winding people up and acting like a fucking dickhead, eventually something fucking terrible is going to happen.
Yeah.
And I did say when the first one, Joe Cox, got murdered, in Batley. I know Batley very well because it's in Yorkshire, so it's an old mining village. And I'll just quickly run on that as quick as I can. Joe Batley was.
Where's he gone?
His internet's probably cut out. Oh, what a shame. Because his internet was, I just got a little bit of a wobbly, it sounded like a little bit of a Dalek. But what I was trying, the point I was trying to make is like, you know, we've talked about so much tonight. We talked about where we've come from and where we are, council estates, about all these private companies, about the fucking police now making money out of fucking vines and the money fucking making machines that go into line the fucking police own pockets now. You know, when you look at when we talk about Serco fucking, when we talk about Sodexo, when we talk about Mighty, we talk about all these fucking different companies. What about these likes of Acro and fucking all them? They're all linked to the police.
No, look.
You know what I mean? We could talk and we could go around in fucking circles.
Look, it's a fucking minefield, all right? And as David said, you know, look, an MP got murdered.
Yeah, which is
sad. So fucking what? It's an MP, all right? But look, and I don't mean any disrespect to the family. What's the difference between that MP and fucking the 223 people who got murdered up to March this year by knife crime? What about the 23 under 17-year-olds have been murdered?
Say that again, Clive, because you broke up.
223 up to March this year murdered to knife crime. All right. What about the 23 under 17-year-olds murdered? What about the amount of people who've been murdered since Joe Cox?
Yeah.
One MP gets murdered and they get publicity all over, but they've done nothing about the knife crime. No. They're not doing anything about the knife crime. Is Tower Hamlets had 3 people attacked with a knife on a bus. And that was a day after. Was that reported? No, it weren't. At the end of the day, they're in their own comfort zone. What's coming? The MPs wanting security now. Nigel Farage is asking for veterans. His proposal is train veterans to protect MPs. Fuck off, Nigel. You're an idiot. Because
as if look at that for what the way they've been treated.
Exactly. Look at the way the veterans are treated. We got veterans being pursued by child maintenance services. We got Ian Briggs. Ian Briggs lost his son, Gavin Briggs, last year, 3rd of July. He took his own life because he was left with £150 a month because child maintenance services kept hounding him and saying he owed fictitious arrears, which was a bag of bollocks. No MP to date has answered. Johnny Mercer, on the 8th of May, on the day of Gavin's birthday, Ian Briggs' son, we were protesting and we called Johnny Mercer out.
I saw you collaring.
Yeah. All right. And he promised he would actually phone. He promised me and Dave on a live.
Yeah, I know, I saw it.
And then when we got him again on the 28th of August.
Yeah, it was very sheepish then.
It was a bag of bollocks. And then he turned around to us and said, as a member of Parliament, we have no power. We're not part of government.
Yeah, I heard that.
And
you could hear that. It was audibly said.
We recorded it. It's on our channels.
Yeah.
The other thing is as well, we've got people serving in the military who are divorced. The children are being used against them. I've got one guy who will not report mental health issues because he'll be downgraded.
Yeah.
He's operational. He can't survive. He survives on £200 a month. All right? A lot of people don't understand. I've got a woman who wants to come on and she wants to talk about the ill treatment she's had. All right, from child maintenance services. That's a government. That's Serco, by the way. It's a private company.
Yeah.
So we can talk about that.
Yeah.
We can talk about the Gurkhas. Gurkhas are still being let down. All right. We can talk about knife crime. We can talk about paedophilia. We can talk about homelessness. We can talk.
Hang on, I'll mute myself for a second. Hang on a minute.
Yeah, bring David back in. So we can talk about a lot of things. Come on, Dave, hurry up and come back in. So we can talk about a lot of things, all right? And it's causing division. If the government were leading by example, the government MPs, 650 of them, what do they really do? They get paid 87,000, 200,000 in claims. They don't give a shit about you. You're working class. They don't care about you watching this. At the end of the day, as long as they got their shekels in their pocket, they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
All right, and they look. Why have we got members of parliament? Me and David's talked about, and I wish David was on here because David will tell you.
Trying to get back in.
Excellent. You've got to treat it as a business. Our structure, our political system has fucking let us down for too long. Labour.
Oh man, don't even go there.
Mate, I spoke to a Labour person posting Labour leaflets through my bastard door. I give it back to him. I said, mate, don't, please. And he looked at me. I said, who do you vote? He said, Labour. I said, why? He went, because they are the party of the working class. And I went, mate, will you fucking stop it? That was back in the 60s. Now, I said, there's no working class party. There's nobody representing the working class anymore. And 650 MPs, they've got no power. The people who run the government are the civil servants. 1981, Margaret Thatcher changed the political stance.
Oh, she did, yeah. Where was Labour Party when the miners striked?
You know?
You could listen. What we've been saying and we've been talking about, and like we just did that before Dave disappeared. His internet cut out. What we were saying, all this is all fucking linked.
Yeah,
it's all fucking linked. You're right there, Dave.
You like big boy?
Can you hear us? Can you hear us, Dave? Put your thumbs up if you can hear us, because if he might have muted himself. If you look underneath the screen where we are, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 circles. One at the end is settings. The first one's your microphone. Oh, he's fucking gone again.
It's gone again.
Right. So the first one's your microphone. Anyway, I'll just tell you, Clivo, in case he's back. So if the one underneath is the mic, if he presses that you can mute yourself if you want to.
David, can't hear you. I can't hear you, but
he's muted himself.
David, have you muted yourself?
You've got a lip read. Lip reading service is not available on this channel. But underneath, you can just mute yourself and unmute yourself. That very, very first round, this. Can you see him, Clivo?
I can see him, but he can't. I don't know what's going on.
It's internet shit. That's what it is. And if you use a mobile phone, your internet is very poor. You normally need a laptop because this system. I know we try different systems and StreamYard and so on.
Yeah.
But this it doesn't like mobile phones. So
I don't think he's on a mobile phone. I think he's on a tablet. David, are you there, son?
He can come back in the chat room if he goes on the link that's in the chat room. If you scroll back through the messages, there is actually a link in the chat room that takes you onto the live stream. That's how me and you got on, I'm sure. So if you look in the chat room, scroll back, it says if you want to come on, and then Matt wants to do the same as well. That takes you and brings you into above Tracy Blackwell.
Got it. I got it.
Yeah, that brings you into the show, and I can let him in. If he comes up on the
That's it, man.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. If I plug this in, my mic, it cuts your volume out. If I plug these in.
Okay. Yeah. So can you find it?
No, you'll find that.
What happens as you are? I know, because I had it sideways. It's the way the devices work. You know what I mean? When everyone's running on different devices. So anyway, so Batley, she turned Batley into a war zone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all the indigenous people got moved out, just like one of my local MPs in North Islington turned Upper Holloway Road, which is North Islington, into what we refer as local as Beirut. Yeah. And that's how he managed to get 33 years constantly going in, which was the one and only Jeremy Corbyn, Piers' brother.
Yeah.
And the same has happened in other various places, predominantly Labour, but Mr. David Ames, he lost his seat in not Brentwood. Was it Brentwood? I think it was Brentwood actually. Anyway, he lost his seat. His seat was coming up for re-election. He'd had it a couple of times, and the Labour got a bit more stronger there, and he lost that seat. So he moved, which is what they do, to a seat that he could win. And he moved 3 times in his political career. And the man was nearly 70 years old. Yeah. But the reason why he moved and ended up in Southend is because he wanted to keep his nose firmly in that trough, which he did.
look,
as they
Why
do.
the fella did it, I don't know. Neither do you, neither do I,
No.
neither does anybody else. You know what I mean? And we probably never will find out why he actually did do it, because even if he says it in an interview, they won't put it out, will they?
but remember, he travelled from London. All right. Look, he travelled from London and he went down to his place. All right. He must have had a bit of research. The Somalian knew the ground he was going to go on, and he knew where he was going, knew what he was doing. Fucking come on.
Yeah.
You know, come on, please. But there's so much shady shit goes on within our government.
Oh fuck.
You know, you've only got to look at. There's an ad out today which is saying about the 77 Brigade. I don't know if you've ever come across them. 77 Brigade is they conduct operations. They conduct media operations. All right, they're the British Army's Information Warfare Force Division. All right, and today the MOD has just denied that it's been asked by an MP. Alba Party, all right, for East Lothian, has just asked whether the British Army Information Warfare Force, known as 77 Brigade, has conducted operations against targets in Scotland. You know, so we got a nudge team in the houses in the cabinet office. We got a nudge team, mental health, behaviour, science. It's behavioural science. They use it. All right. They know what they're doing, and they're creating the control. But
Yeah.
look at the civil servants. Me and David have talked about it. The civil servants. Look at the board of directors for the civil servants. Look at who they answer to. It's one big fucking organisation with their fingers in every pie you can think of, and they all protect each other.
Yeah.
All right.
We know that. I'm just going to pick up something, guys. Coleman Archant saying that we're going live on VK, so it's on VK anyway. I don't know if you use that,
Yeah.
but some people use the Russian equivalent to Facebook, VK. So it's going live on it. It's probably going live on Facebook. Hopefully it is. And Jason will share it on other platforms anyway.
You know, Dave, are you all right, Pat? Can't hear you.
He's done something. He's gone.
You need to come on our show, actually, Martin. We're going to have to call you over. Definitely.
Is he?
Well-
Can he not get on?
I don't know. He's turned his phone about, or whatever he's got, the device he's on. I would phone him, but I
If
don't know
Matt
what
wants
device
to come
he's
on,
on.
he can. He's more than welcome to come on. If he wants to join, just click that link and he'll bring him in. I'll
Yeah.
open him up and let him come on if he wants to come on. If you want him to come on, that's fine.
Yeah, look, Matt is one of the admin team of our show.
Yeah, I know, Matt.
And you know Matt, you know his background. LBGT, he's our knowledge on that. You know, I love him to bits. You know, I'm gonna be Santa Claus and I'm gonna empty my sack on him. So let me tell you, when I dress up as Christmas, he's at it. But no, Matt is a brilliant lad. Love him to bits.
There are some great guys out there. I mean, listen, I came down to the Gurkhas to show my respects and stuff like that. And I met a lot of people I knew. I was quite surprised how many people that I knew that were there with you guys and so on and so forth. And I even Fraser, I forgot I met Fraser a couple of years ago in Nottingham.
Yeah, look, but look at the Gurkhas. Look at the Gurkhas. Look where we are. They still haven't done anything for them. They're still dying off. 80-year-olds. They're going to wait till they died off. They don't give a shit about the Gurkhas.
It's the same as compensation for child abuse survivors.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's the same. They'll offer them pittance, and it's all right having government inquiries like ICSA and Scottish inquiries like ICSA, but different names. Listen, it's a shit show everywhere you fucking go. Like you look at Mark Drayford and what he's done in fucking Wales, and this age of 4 years of age where they're teaching fucking children about a banana and fucking Nutella and putting saying a banana's a penis, and this is what if you put it in someone's backside. This is all fucking. You should be teaching 4-year-old children.
You know,
shit.
That's trauma. That's fucking trauma. But the other thing is as well, look, let's talk about immigration, shall we? Because that's another fucking topic. They've just prosecuted the first gang from. He's giving us the Vix.
Fuck, really.
Come on, Dave, get fucking on.
Get back on, fucking Davey. Come on,
All right.
now.
And they reckon they've smuggled 250 migrants. All right.
Yeah.
And 9.5 years, they reckon they've made £4 million. Do you know how much it is to bring a child over?
Thousands.
£9,000. Do you know how much it is to bring an adult over?
Free.
10,000.
What?
£10,000.
I would have thought, listen, because of the fucking sick bastards that are out there and paedophilia and the way it is, they seem to think that children are the new drug. You can use the drug once, but you can use a child 100 fucking times for their sexual exploitation and fucking sickness, right? As we fucking know. And I thought it would have been the other way around, where a child was far more.
No, this is what they say. But you've got to ask the question, where they're getting the money off to pay these gangs. So this is what they've said. The organised crime group is estimated investigators to have reaped more than £4 million in just under a year, and to have been charging migrants £10,000 per adult, £9,000 per child. Those leaving their homelands were treated as a commodity as they were transferred to sites in northern France, Belgium, and the Netherlands before being brought to the UK. And that's what they're estimating. So, look, they're leaving their countries. Fucking hell. I tell you what, I wish I could fucking make 10,000. I wish I had 10,000, 9,000 pounds in my pocket.
Yeah.
You know, but the question's got to be asked, where's that money coming from to bring them people in? Most of them are men.
Yeah.
Where's it coming from? Let's look at it. We haven't got a clue what we got coming into this country.
I know. Very well said, Clive.
You know, and that's the biggest scary thing.
And do you know something, ironically, when you're saying that, you know, every single fucking one of them is coming over, is predominantly a fucking male, and they've got fucking the latest mobile phones, and I think, if they're coming for these war-torn or fucking poor countries, how the fuck are they having these fucking latest phones that you and I probably don't afford?
Well, mate, look...
You know, with your fucking iPhone, what? 13 is probably about 1,500 quid.
Exactly. You know
what I mean? That's what, and saying that as well, there's a thing, there's a hotel in Bridlington that's got a fucking lovely view looking out, a lovely fucking view of the sea and everything. They've got a lot of Afghan immigrants in there, and yet underneath the fucking underneath the grate down there is a fucking little tent with a veteran sleeping fucking in a tent while these illegal immigrants, right, are being housed in fucking 5-star hotels. You turn around, who deserves it more, the veteran?
Well, according to the government, mate, it's the person who's just paid £10,000 to come over on a fucking boat deserves it more, because it's not just the hotel price. £160 for an hotel. A lot of the hotels are getting paid per person. That's paid for by the taxpayer. Yeah. Then you've got the mobile phones, and Dave is the best person to talk about this because Dave's been through the loop on this, and he's looked at it all. All right, and fucking, we don't get a say. I tell you what, Dave raised it today. Voice of Wales, they put a petition out to make the Welsh MPs accountable. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So they should.
We need to fucking make people accountable.
Of course we should.
And we should have a system in place where we can do it. Not a vote.
Listen. Whatever we try and do, it's like a fucking odd curveball we fucking keep talking about the Googling. They try to avoid it at every fucking cost, right? Whatever we try to do, they try to find. It's like all these people in high places, they sit at these desks. I think some of them are too fucking frightened to sit at a desk. They sit underneath it. They hide underneath it when you fucking go to mention anything that makes any fucking difference. Just see if we can bring Dave back in.
We need to bring him in. Dave, come on, son.
Dave, can you hear us?
I want to phone him, but I don't know if he's on his phone.
Dave, can you hear it? Yeah, you can hear us. But why are we not getting him?
Plug yourself in again, Dave. Plug yourself in again. It's not working. Have you come in?
Go on.
Have you come in on the messenger? On chat room? The link on chat.
Twice.
No, that was fuck off. Because look, I'm the technical monkey. I always fuck up, and this is good because this is the first time Dave's fucked up technically.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, deep inside, I'm going, ha, ha, ha. Now I've got proof that you fucked up, tech monkey.
He's telling me about fucking technology, and I bought something from him, a portable charger or something when we was at the. Was we in London at the Gurkha's Pen? I think we were.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought he was fucking well, I've got this laptop that I'm using now from
Dave.
Yeah.
I tell you what, he is fucking Dave. Look, let's talk about Dave, shall we?
Yeah.
Some people don't like him, but he says it. He says it as it is, mate.
Oh,
right?
yes, doesn't he?
And I tell you what, he's like my older brother. He says it as it is, and he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
You know, he has people bombarding him. In the veterans community, we're divided. We've got to divide because we've got a lot of people fucking stroking egos, and we just want to bring change.
Yeah.
Because we want to bring change because it touches our heart. There's something that's happened to me. There's something that's happened to our friends, and we just want to bring the change. We want to get justice.
Yeah.
And people don't like what we say sometimes. But as David said,
it's going to be the same. You're going to be trolled anyway.
You know, and we don't give a fuck, mate. You know,
I know that. David made it fucking predominantly clear that he will not stand under. I mean, I don't know how fucking certain people take it anyway, but Jason, don't be offended by the way Dave came across to start off with. That's Dave all over, right?
Dave is brilliant.
Turn around and call a fucking spade a fucking spade.
Yeah. And he, you know, and if he says, I'll be honest with you, if we do say something that upsets people, we sit down and listen to him, and then we'll have them, let them have their say, because everybody's got an opinion. We've all got opinions on something. We may not agree, Mark. Me and Dave don't agree. Look, we don't agree there, and he's shouting at me. You know, don't be daft. He speaks my language.
No, well, that's all right. That's Jason. That is. Who the fuck's Jason? He said.
I tell you what, this is great. He's going to be there. Look at him. Oh, go on, Dave.
I've got no fucking control of you. You're a techno fucking monkey.
Jason, phone him up.
I don't know what he's saying. What's he saying?
He's calling somebody a knobhead.
Me?
No, he's calling somebody a knobhead.
You or me?
I don't know. It might be me.
Jason? He's watching me. Yeah, he's using his phone. Just bear with me again. I'm just going to have a look at the chat room while you're doing that. You can mute yourself if you want.
No, I can see the right. He said, right, if you read the fucking screen, you fucking nuts, I'm writing in the fucking chat room. Send the link there.
I wonder if Jay's still there, if he can send the link. But if I scroll back up the link,
I'm going to share it now. Yeah, here it is.
Yeah,
fucking hell.
I'm fucking here, he says. Right, so.
Have you got it?
But he's not coming up on my screen.
He's not happy with his system. I tell you now, he ain't fucking happy.
Well, I can't see anything here.
Here we go. One.
Are you there, Jason? Oh, I can hear him. Go on, I heard you.
Right, stay on. I've checked joint stream. My picture's there. Right, all your pictures are coming up now.
Right, we can see you now.
You're not come up yet. I'm up.
Oh, we can hear
Can
you
you
now.
hear me, Clive, on the live?
Yeah.
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 Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you. I can't see fucking.
Don't worry about it. Just
I
keep
can see
talking.
you.
Do what you're good at.
Oh, you're there now. You're there now. Because it lags. This has got terrible lag in all this. Fucking shite is the word. The sharing of it doesn't work. Yeah. The logging into it's fucking bollocks. Listen, it ain't me. It took Matt 10 minutes to log in, mate.
I know. I was waiting for Matt to come in.
I'll tell you how shit the system is, shall I? I'll tell you how shit it is. Yeah. The fucking technology. If he knows how it works, it's got to be fucking shite. I hear you talking.
He's a fucking legend, isn't he?
I can hear you talk. I can hear you talking, but you couldn't hear me because your system, yeah, evidently won't let a fucking Samsung Note 20, which is only one more up.
I'm going to try that.
£1,300 phone won't let it fucking work on whoever's fucking muggy system this is. But anyway, it's not my system, so I'm not overly bothered. No. Oh, he's rung me off now, hasn't he? So that's good. I can't see the comments. So have you run over your show?
Yeah, I'm still here, mate. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah,
No, yes, you're
I
run over.
don't have a lot of control over it.
Right, so I don't know, I don't know what people are saying or whatever, but I'm going to finish off.
I'm looking in there every now and then anyway. There's not much going on in there. I mean, I did say to Matt if he wanted to come on, he was more than welcome.
Yeah. See, it doesn't even show how many people are in here.
Dave, let me just say something for a second.
Go on.
Right, guys, at 9 o'clock we've got Alpha Amigo Delroy coming on and Charles Ernest Spencer. 9 o'clock at the top of the hour. Brilliant show. Always a brilliant show when Delroy's on, and he sometimes has T. King come on, the common law specialist. And they absolutely, I mean, fucking Delroy's show is absolutely riveting. I sit there after this and listen to his show, and it's incredible what he comes across. And as you can see underneath where we are, you can share screens and you can put stuff up. And Delroy does that, and it's a great show, guys. So tune in at 9 o'clock on Wake Up UK to watch Delroy and Charles Ernest Spencer. So yeah, can you still hear us, David, or are you still with us?
I'm listening to you waffle.
Oh, you don't fucking Go on. You got something to say? Say it.
I've got fucking loads. I'll keep you on here.
Go, bro. Go for it.
Phone Delroy up, whoever he is, and tell him to come on here. Tell him he's fucked. His show ain't going on his own. So anyway, I can listen. If you could get Olympic medals for what I do, mate, I would be able to move in my gaff room. You know what I mean?
I tell you what, Voice of Wales won't invite us back on because we wouldn't let him go off the show.
No.
Who was on? Who was doing it?
Dan and Stan.
Was it just Stan?
Dan and Stan.
Dan and Stan together.
Yeah. I know who they are.
Yeah.
They are just
they're
got off their court case, didn't they?
They're blinders. They're blinders.
Oh
They're
yeah,
brilliant.
they're good guys because we bit them on the streets.
So right, so we were at the killing of the MP, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, so, and the take on it. I don't know where you went with the Dennis Hutchins side of things, because
Go on, carry on, son. Don't worry about it. Carry on.
No, I was leaving that to you guys.
I don't know where the Dennis Hutchinson bit falls into it, because he said he wanted to talk about whatever.
Just the mistreatment.
I was talking about the publicity that MP got, to compare to what.
Okay, yeah. So all right, so I can catch up with that. All right, so we've got that. Yeah, because he had 12 hours of rolling news on the BBC. He had God knows how many hours on fucking Sky. He had RT News and all the fucking rest of the wankers. Yeah, and that's because of what he represents. Yeah.
Yeah, but the point I was trying to make, David, was why was
Dennis Hutchinson got 57 seconds?
Yeah. Why was he going to fucking Northern Ireland in the first fucking place? You know what I mean? A man who was fucking as he was shouldn't have been fucking going there anyway. And the persecution that was fucking laid at his door.
That's why he was going to Northern Ireland. Hello?
Yeah, I didn't catch that.
He was being prosecuted.
I know he was being prosecuted. I know he was being prosecuted. It was more a persecution than prosecution.
Yeah.
There's 237 more of them
coming behind him.
What I'm saying to you, how can a bloke, right, who's a member of the fucking armed forces, who's been given a fucking loaded weapon, be persecuted in the way that he was persecuted for doing his fucking job?
Because it was part of the Northern Ireland. It was part of the Good Friday Agreement.
I don't get it. I really don't fucking get it myself.
As you know, Tony Blair and his fucking his fucking bent barrister wife, Sherry Blair. Yeah. And that's not reported. That's fact. That's been on the news.
We know that. We know that.
Yeah, they're bent as a temple. No, they don't even lie straight in bed.
And there's a man fucking weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah, all that bollocks. Right, so they did a thing called the Good Friday Agreement, of which I'm
Yeah, I
sure
know
you're
about
aware
the
of.
Friday Agreement.
Yeah, and
I
that
know
was
about
so
Sinn Féin, I know
that was so that
Martin
McGuinness.
Guinness.
Yeah, that was so McGuinness and these little fucking band of merry men
Yeah,
could turn their Sinn Féin, that it was known
Yeah.
as even back
yeah,
then,
yeah.
into a political entity, a
Yeah.
terrorist organisation, which
Yeah.
they have,
Yeah.
and they share Stormont, although the cunts never turn up there. They get paid for it, but
Yeah.
they never turn up in
A
Stormont,
bit
do
like
they?
the Labour Party in this country.
Stormont's been empty for over 5 years now because
Yeah, I know. Well, they've
the
reopened
DUP,
it now, haven't they?
the DUP and the Sinn Féin don't agree and won't
Yeah.
sit in what we call our Houses of Parliament because they can't sit around the table and talk like adults. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jerry Adams only understands violence, doesn't he?
But look, remember one thing. All
So
right?
the Good Friday Agreement was done. I'm going to finish. The Good Friday Agreement was done. Whatever was written in there was written in there. You don't know, I don't know. And Sherry Blair, in her wisdom, somehow managed to have that document sealed for 150 years. Yeah, there's no document sealed for that length of time. The normal form is 100 years. Yeah, you know what I mean? Those sort of records. But she wanted it 150. She not only wanted people to be dead, she wanted any generation that was around and any system around that wouldn't actually tarnish their names of dead people. Yeah, that's how badly she wanted it sealed. So and Boris Johnson made a promise, didn't he? Well, I know he made a promise. It's common knowledge. If he became the Prime Minister, within 100 days of him being in office, he would stop the vexation prosecutions of Northern Ireland veterans. Those were his words, not mine.
Yeah.
Of which
Can
he
I
was
just say
correct.
something? I think
Go on.
the two of them, right, both the Blairs, should be fucking hung at traitors fucking gate.
We all know. Listen, if Ifs and Ands
They
were
both
pots and
did
pans,
because she wrote and she influenced. She fucking done a lot of his dirty legal fucking work for him. Right? And you're not just talking about that. You're talking about the 100-year rule on fucking child abuse survivors.
Listen, mate.
And the reports, the records.
I'll tell you something about saying what you've just said, yeah? If Ifs and Ands, as my nan would tell me, she's dead, she's been dead 30 odd years now, but if my nan was around, she'd say, Dave, if Ifs and Ands were pots and pans, you'd have a kitchen full of it. You know what I mean? Coulda, shoulda, woulda. And all that fucking that goes with it. All the other fucking sayings, yeah?
Metaphors.
What should happen and what will happen are two different fucking things, isn't they? We know what should, and we know what will.
Look.
So that when he made that promise, Boris, and you said Sherry Blair was running Blair, which you're right. No different than his bird at the moment. Boris's bird is the big string puller, the number one, of which Clive has shouted that from when their relationship became public knowledge, that she'll be the kingpin and she will be pulling his strings and telling him what to do and what to say, because she's much more powerful, within the circles they all mix. You understand? Clive can tell you about that if he wants to.
Oh yeah, well we know that because of what she fucking
so
represents.
That's that. So when Boris made those promises, to stop the prosecutions of Northern Ireland veterans, what he failed to say is, I won't be able to, by the way, because I can't unseal the Good Friday Agreement because I can't. Because if I did, Sinn Féin then would say, right, that's the fucking end of the agreement, and let's fucking get those fucking weapons out of our arm caches and let's get back on with it. Someone's pushed a button. There you go. Not me, because my hands are here.
Look.
Can you see the private chat on the left?
Can
you see that, Dave? You can't see it. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Can you see it wake up? That's Jason. Can you see what he's just said?
Yeah.
Oh fuck, he's gone again.
But look.
We'll have to get Jason on one night.
Yeah.
And have a little conflab with Dave, because that would be a fucking show.
I tell you what, brilliant. Yeah. Because I tell you, look, why ain't Tony Blair standing trial for the 450 deaths in the Middle East? Why ain't Tony Blair standing trial for taking us to war, to take us to a conflict?
Yeah.
Look, there's a guy called John Downey. John Downey was given a comfort letter.
Yeah.
But, right, Dennis Hutchins was part of the Household Cavalry. 1982, the Household Cavalry lost 4 men and horses in Hyde Park bombing.
Yeah,
Don't know if you remember that.
That was fucking disgraceful. Is there photographs of it?
John Downey walk free. The family of those people who got murdered,
Yeah.
all right, they haven't had any government backing. They've had to take lawsuits out themselves, and they've had to try and bring justice themselves. So why in our government, why hasn't anybody, you know, Dennis Hutchins was dragged through the courts. He shouldn't have been in Belfast, all right?
No, that's what I
He
said.
shouldn't have been there.
I said
And I hope the family go for the government, because I tell you what, it's the family should go for the government. Because here's a question for you: why hasn't any MP ever been dragged in front of the judge for putting people into Northern Ireland and putting people? There's agendas all the time. We never pulled out of Northern Ireland. Don't have people thinking we've pulled out of Northern Ireland, because we've still got intelligence cells in there. We've still got cells in there in case it kicks off again. Trust me. They only pulled people out of Northern Ireland because they had Bosnia going on. They had Kosovo going on. They knew they were going to the Middle East. They had to free up places. They had to bring people out. That's why we drew up Northern Ireland.
Am I back in?
Yeah, you are.
But you know yourself, Clive, that what does law stand for anyway? Land, air, and water. You know, the land of the law of the land, the fucking animal tree of the law of the sea, and the water of the fucking.
But be aware now, because now you're going to go into common law.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you about common law.
Go on.
David? Actually, David's doing his head. Tell him. Common law.
Go on, David. Go on, say something, Dave, because we've got about 5 minutes left, so we haven't got very long left.
Common law.
Common fucking sense would be better.
Common law is a duty of care. Don't do to thee that he wouldn't want done to himself. That was brought about centuries and centuries ago. Set precedent by the Supreme Court, judges looking at cases. However, if you look at the law, and what it does say is statute law, which is bills, orders, acts.
Parliamentary law.
All right. At the end of the day, statute law overrides common law when it becomes. If you've got conflict with common law and statute law sets precedent.
Yeah.
This is what a lot of people don't realise.
No, I hear what you're
You
saying.
know why? I'll tell you why. Because they're so fucking big building egos around common fucking law. That's all they're doing.
Yeah.
They're
When was the last
fucking wankers? I can tell you that now.
When was the last time?
The people who fucking listen, the people who do all these fucking things, these meetings and training, the fucking police constable. What the fuck's a police constable?
A common law
We
constable.
can't get a fucking proper constable on the fucking street, yeah? What chance you got getting a police constable? I haven't seen fucking one. Have you seen one?
No, I haven't seen one. No, I inquired about
buttons anyone's pushed. I've pushed nothing. Alan's pushed another button, and I ain't fucking. I'm about to be blown out again.
No, you're not.
So, because you bought my fucking topic, Alan. Well done. Whatever you're doing.
What? What
You took it off now. No, you're back now to normal.
No, Alan's not touching it.
I ain't fucking doing
No,
nothing.
it's Alan. Listen, we've got no control.
It's not Alan. It's not Alan. It's Jason.
We've got whoever it is who's pushing the button, mate. Carry on pushing them. You're making yourself look like a right fucking halfwit in my eyes. You're probably a nice fucking fella, you know what I mean? But you need to put boxing gloves on when people are doing this. I'll ask him. I'll get out Clive to sit like that or to sit on his ass.
Let's come back to what you were just saying. Right.
About
when
what?
you're talking about acts and statutes and fucking
orders, bills,
the bills and everything else that come through fucking Parliament. How can it be an act of law? We are the people that put them in fucking Parliament.
No.
Oh, yeah,
we are.
Go and fucking listen,
No, it's not consensual.
Go and get your nicked. Go and get yourself nicked, yeah? And when you go in front of the judge, get nicked on something you know common law will protect you, yeah? And go and tell the police officer that's nicking you, that's arrested you, under whatever fucking section of the law is nicked you under, go and see the fucking magistrate, yeah? Tell them to go and fuck themselves. You come under common law.
I've already done it?
They're nobody,
You're shooting off, Dave. Hang on a minute. Hang on. You're shooting off, Dave. Whoa. Now, hang on a minute. Right? You're shooting off now. How do you know I haven't already done it? I put Oliver Durden in his fucking place. You know who Oliver Durden is?
Go on, enlighten me.
Oliver Durden is the Postmaster General. In 1962, we had such a thing called the Postmaster General. And a UPU law, you know all about postal fucking
Go on.
We're talking about earlier on about money and commerce and everything else. And the fucking ring of steel, you want to fucking talk about all your money is fucking made and fucking traded and everything else. And you want to go on all about that. Well, I fucking put Oliver Durden in his place because I turned around and fucking told him, as the Postmaster General, that I would report him to Byrne for UPU fraud, Universal Postal Union fraud.
Yeah, but what was he done under? What was he
in his multitasking role?
But what?
Supposed to be a Postmaster General as well.
Yeah, but hang on,
Clive, please, Clive. Let's shorten this up. Let's shorten this down a bit, mate.
Okay.
So hang on. So you told him that you'll take him and do this, and you did that, did you? You took him to court and got him done for fraud. Like all other politicians, like everybody else has probably done in their time, do you get a reply from these cunts? No.
Well, there you go. I've written to fucking Chris.
So you never got any. What I'm trying to say, Alan. So you never
council, whether it's fucking Labour or fucking Conservative, right? On child abuse campaigning, which I do, my predominant fucking thing is child abuse campaigning, right? And do you think I get any fucking help from these politicians?
No, you won't, Alan. This is a fucking Alan.
What I'm saying, they are.
What I'm saying, Alan. No, what I'm saying, mate, is no good telling me that you've fucking done this and you've done that, and no one's got fucking nicked for it under whatever fucking law you like. Whether that's common law, fucking whatever law, statutes, whatever, or you took it out of public prosecution.
Gents, wait
you haven't got them in fucking court, and you haven't got them fucking nicked. You haven't seen
they are actually holes in a common law court. It ain't gonna happen.
But gents, here we go. Hang on now. Right, Ian Briggs.
Common law court, please.
There's
only one going in Wales.
Wait, Ian Briggs.
There's a common law court in Wales.
Ian Briggs. Yeah, but wait, Ian, you will not get him in the common law court. Right, Ian Briggs.
Since that court's been going, how many people's gone through it and gone to prison then? Or even got a fucking fine?
None, I know.
No, because the number's zero.
Gents. Get irate with us, mate.
Gents, wait. Ian Briggs, his son was murdered, all right?
Yeah.
By negligence, by the actual system. Yeah. By a department, by the Secretary of State. He's written to all MPs, they've ignored him. Every one of them has played negligence, corporate manslaughter. However, I wrote to the HSE, Health and Safety Executive, because it's a work-related matter, and I said corporate manslaughter, somebody should be tried for negligence.
Are you NEBOK trained, are you?
What?
Are you NEBOK trained?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I wrote to the HSE, and this is what they said to me. Unfortunately, the government's above our power. We cannot do an investigation into negligence, corporate manslaughter. Now work that one out. Because I tell you now, common law, you will not get them anywhere near the common law courtroom, let alone the court systems and the law systems we got is to manage the working class. And that's it.
Do you honestly think?
You talking about health and safety and stuff like that. When you're talking about health and safety, and you've done the NEBOSH and everything else, and everything to do with it, and there's a lot more to it as well. A lot more other things to health and safety. At the end of the day, where employers fall down is they sometimes get their employees right by the short and curlies because they use a thing called "we're reasonably responsible."
No, you're wrong.
No.
So far as reasonably practicable, or far as practicable.
Yeah.
That's a cost. That's a cost of risk against. That's a balance of cost against risk, and what that means is time, effort, but when you go to the courts.
Yeah. I apologise. Sorry. It's a while since I've done it. I've done health and safety myself. Little old boy like me, believe it or not. I did do it, and I know quite a lot. There is so much involved.
There's so much. Look, Alan.
That you do.
Alan, I teach management. I teach directors, health and safety.
I'm not calling the kettle.
No. But what I'm saying to you is, what I teach them is the systems of law, common law, statute law, absolute duties. Absolute duty is will, shall, must. Three words.
Yeah.
All right. Then you got practicability.
Yes.
Then you go so far as reasonably
That's what I meant to say.
practicable.
I do apologise.
All right. But then you come under, you got the Health and Safety Work Act 1974, statute law. But what we teach them is if there is a common law and statute law, if there is a conflict of interest, then
Yes.
the statute law takes precedent.
Yes. Yeah. But then see, why can you put one thing on a parallel level when nothing else is fucking parallel?
Because what they've done is they've
Now
looked
you
at
use
it.
the word what was the word?
Practicable.
Right. So practicable.
Yeah.
What does that fucking actually mean?
What that means is you've got to show based on a balance of cost.
I know what it means. I'm taking the
yeah.
piss. I'm taking
Yeah,
the piss,
yeah.
Clive. Right?
Yeah.
Does it actually mean what it fucking says?
It does when you go to
Do you know
court of
what I
law.
mean?
It does when you go to court of law. Because when you go to
Guys, I need to go. The show should have ended at 8:45. We've got a little extension till 10 minutes. It's such a riveting show.
Yeah.
And that, you know,
we're going to keep you on as long as we can. We're going to keep you on as long as we can. We're keeping you on as long as we can.
Listen.
Go on, David.
Listen. There's no falling out over here, right?
No, is it, fuck?
Listen, I've got a fucking loud voice anyway, mate. Right?
Well,
And
yeah,
the only time I'll raise my voice is if your voice is loud, I will make mine louder. You understand me? That's what I do. That's what I do with people who try and talk over people. You know?
You've got apologies in it.
Ask Clive.
Listen,
You can talk
you've got
all you like,
apologies in it,
Alan.
mate.
You can carry on talking, mate. I don't mind. Right? Because you won't win that. Yeah? Ask Clive. You can't. It's impossible.
You want?
I'll do it for
Show a
fucking
little bit of respect for
hours
me as
on
well,
end.
Dave. Hang on a minute. Whoa,
I just won't stop.
Show a little
Yeah,
bit
so
of
you can
respect
carry
as
on.
well, David.
You
It
can
works both
whoa,
ways.
whoa,
Hang on a
mate.
minute.
You can
David, it
whoa,
works
whoa,
both ways. Show a bit of respect because I'm the host of the show.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just show a little
I
bit of
know you are.
respect
I
because I
know
do
you
to you. Hang on a minute. I show
There's
respect to
no-
you.
there's-
Show a little
listen.
respect. You're all going to see you
No,
doing
there's
it.
no-
Because you want to get your say in.
No. Of course it's not.
Of course it fucking
it's
is.
not. Of course it isn't.
Yeah, well, don't play that game, Dave. I mean, fucking hell, I thought
I'm
we
not
were
playing
mates.
any game, Alan.
Look,
There's no
listen.
disrespect, mate.
Well, yeah, what is disrespectful?
That's cool. No, I'm not. That's your perception, mate. Listen, you're responsible for your own perception.
It's opinion. Look,
You understand?
gents.
That's all it is.
Gents.
You're getting hold of the wrong end of the stick, mate.
But gents, remember one thing. It's been a good
Go on,
show
son.
because we've discussed so much fucking
brilliant.
shit on you. I tell you what, Alan, thank you very
But what
much,
you've got-
actually.
Yeah, of course, it's been fantastic. I've loved it. It's been so many different topics as well. It's not
I tell you.
a thing, is it?
Okay,
This
now.
is what we do. We talk about. Listen, when we talk about fucking people off the street, these people
Yeah.
that come off the street, these people that come out of council estates and people, they are people in the real fucking world,
No.
right? There's no
Yeah.
false pretense. There's no
Yeah.
hiding anything. What you see is what you fucking get.
And that's it.
So,
But the
I
thing is,
apologise. I
I've
should
got-
have said that to you. I didn't mean to go off on one, but
Alan, fuck.
Hey,
Okay,
Scottish
ladies,
is
I'm going to come in here.
nothing.
Right, Alan,
Listen,
Yeah.
can we
Hang on a
ask?
minute.
Hang on. It's my website. Shut up. Can I ask Clive and Dave, or is it Derek and Clive? I don't know. Can I ask you to let us know how people find out more about you? You know, where can they follow you? Where are you? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Are you on YouTube?
go on, Dave.
Have you got a
are you a,
website?
fuck- are you a fucking policeman?
Well, you're going to bloody doors off.
Follow you?
he's
Where are you?
fucking
Where you going?
inspector like your son.
Come on, seriously, guys, where can people
He's
follow
an
you?
inspector, David.
If you want
I
to
know
follow
you go
me,
live, is it twice a
listen,
week
my
you go live?
fucking son, my son's an inspector. You think that bothers me? Listen, one of them. Right, and I haven't spoken to him for 11 years for obvious reasons. So if you want to follow me, yeah, I'm on the south coast. I'm at 4A Marine Place, B11. And I normally get up about 4ish. I have a couple of hours kit. Yeah, I go out sometimes at 2, 3 hours in the morning. So you might have to hang
You
about
live 4 a.m.
If I'm
Hey,
in,
hey,
if I'm not in my
4 a.m.
if
My
I'm
ass.
not in my flat in
4
Worthing,
a.m.
I'm at 2A, number 2 Lloyd Baker Street, Islington, WC1.
Dave.
David,
Hang on, you said 4 a.m. You a jailbird, not an early bird. Fuck off.
David,
Clive will
wait.
tell you.
Hey, what you want
Right.
to know is like you're in the you've got your own show.
Yeah, right. We've got a show that we do every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We come on at 8 o'clock on a Facebook page. We got 3 Elements Coffee, which is a coffee brand we've got that we're trying to build at the moment so we can give back to veterans. And it's not just veterans, we're giving back to everybody now because mental health is a big issue. I've suffered mental health. I tried to commit suicide myself. David's gone through the fucking mill himself. So we come together. There's the coffee. There's the drinking chocolate. And money back guarantee on it. All right. But look, at the end of the day, we've got a YouTube channel called Dave and Clive Live. And we invite people on. And we say to people, I mean, we need to get you on, Alan. We need to get Jason on. Because what we say is, we don't give a shit. At the end of the day, if you've got something to say, we're not all gonna have the same opinions.
Yeah.
But respect each other's opinions.
Clive, can
Yeah.
you drop the links in the chat room for us, mate?
Yeah, I'll stick it in now.
Yeah, good idea. Well done, Jay.
Yeah, all
Well
right.
done, Jay. And
Actually, Matt, I'll get Matt to
you
do it.
gentlemen, would you mind if I said to you, would you like to do part 2 next week?
Oh, fuck off. I'm not coming. No, I'm not fucking coming back on after that fucking this fucking.
You're not coming back, all right. No, you don't like this.
Yeah, cool. Look,
Listen,
Yeah,
fuck-
listen,
Alan.
Alan, if you're stuck and I've got the time and he's got the time,
Alan, give us.
listen, you can jump on any time you want. It's
Alan.
on there. The link's in the chat room. Just jump on, bro.
Alan,
listen,
look.
I know what you do is a very difficult subject for people to get a grip and get their around, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to get to
Yeah.
feel. So,
Yeah.
Alan,
anything
Quite easy to do, yeah.
we can help with that.
Alan,
Go on, Clive.
at the end of the day, mate, all right, and I think Dave will say this as well. Look, big respect to you, mate, for what you do. All right, and how you get out there and you share your story, because we've got to fucking stop it happening to other people. I've had my daughter gone through it. Look, when Dave said to me, look, he wants to come on, Alan wants you to come on, I went fucking definitely, because Al, we like talking to people that say it as it is and don't beat around the bush. And like, we don't mind,
Clive, 1 minute left.
you know, Jace, and I met you earlier and I had a talk with you. And look, we don't give a shit. Say it as it is. You're not going to offend us.
Will you
Because
come on next
again-
week? Before we go, we've got a minute left.
Well,
Can I just say what I'm
any
booking
second
in
now
for
we're
next
gonna come
week, because this show has been absolutely riveting, brilliant. I loved every single bit of it. If we can get a decent connection next week, you know, there's going to be technical issues with whatever we do. But guys, Clive, Spencer, thank you ever so much for coming on tonight. And Dave,
Thank you.
well, you're fucking, I love you to pieces, mate. Taking a notice of me.
Back at you.
We
Cheers,
give
guys.
as we fucking get.
Cheers.
Back at you.
Yeah.
Come back next week. You're invited next week. Come back on, Clive.
Yeah, we will. We will.
Okay,
See you
we've got
next
to go
week,
now.
mate.
We're going to get cut off any second, mate. So,
Okay, thanks, guys.
I love you all. Those who don't love me, I still love you.
Love you.
Cheers, guys.
Last fucking word.